I wanted to do a video on this at some point anyway, so I decided that today would be the day, because I recently had a conversation with some other people in the community about this particular topic, and that is the manga panels that appear in the beginning of the Japanese trailers. People have theorized for some time that these actually indicate possibilities for characters, perhaps maybe even quote-unquote confirm them. That's not what everyone's saying, but some people are using this as evidence to suggest that more characters are going to come into the game. For example, characters like Boa Hancock were previously teased and are in the game now. Some people are using that to say that characters like Hiei will be on the base roster because Hiei is going to be referenced in this video and has been referenced in the past through this kind of manga title screen thing that they do at the start of some trailers. And there's a handful of other characters that have been teased through this particular method. I've been saying for a long time now that this is just a coincidence and that the manga panels actually mean pretty much nothing. The idea behind these manga panels is that they're just supposed to represent the franchises that are represented in this game. As if to say, look at this history of Weekly Shonen Jump and look at what we're doing with this game. So I thought it would be fun to go through each of these manga panels and point out every character that I notice and kind of visually show you them. That way you can get an idea of just how many characters have been teased, and just because a new character is confirmed and they were in the manga panels doesn't mean the manga panels are evidence to suggest that X character is coming to the game. Before I get into the list, I just want to remind you I won't be talking about characters who have already revealed, and I will not be talking about multiple instances of the same character. It's very possible that I missed one or two characters here. I also want to mention that Boruto and Joey have been referenced in previous panels, and there have been other panels, but I'm just going over the ones in the most recent trailer, so I don't have all the old references and stuff like that. I just wanted to go over the most recent ones because they're the most relevant. Regardless, though, I would come to the same conclusion at the end of the video. Alright, let's go. Let's start off with this Death Note panel that shows Rem and L. I don't think that means they have an increased chance of showing up as playable characters. In the Naruto panel, we see Guy, Kakashi, and Gaara. You don't quite see Madara because of the panel and where it's positioned, but just based on what we can see of it, it looks like it has a Rinnegan, and the hair kind of looks like Madara, so we're going to call it Madara for now. It could just as easily be anybody with a Rinnegan, but Madara seems like the most likely. Here we have Nami, Chopper, Robin, Usopp, Brooke, and I don't know how to pronounce her name, but she's the mermaid queen lady thing, and of course Boa, but obviously Boa's in the game already. The Bleach panel. In this one, I'm probably gonna get some pronunciations wrong, but we're gonna try anyway. Soifon, Sajin, Shunsui, Jushiro, Ishin, Toshiro, Matsumoto, and Shigekuni, and Aokiura. Next up, the Hunter x Hunter panel that shows Chrollo and Leorio, the Yu Yu Hakusho panel, which shows Hiei, Kurama, and Kuwabara. Next, we have a Yu-Gi-Oh panel, which shows off Kaiba, a Dragon Ball panel, which shows off a bunch of characters already in the game, although you could also count Kid Goku as well, if you wanted to count him as a separate character. I'm not quite sure who this is in the back, and I won't count it towards the final count because there's no way of me being sure, but I think that's Itachi back there. The lines below the eyes make me feel like it's Itachi, but again, I have no way of knowing this for sure, so for now I'm just going to go ahead and not count it. Although again, I think it's Itachi. On this panel, we have Frankie, another character down there at the bottom, but don't worry, we're talking about him a little bit later. Ishida from Bleach. Here we get a look at Whitebeard. We've got Ishtar from Yu-Gi-Oh, which is pretty cool, and Kid Naruto. We've got Keiko from Yu Yu Hakusho, which is pretty cool. Miriam, Goten, and Trunks. We've got what I'm assuming is Grimmjow. We've got Kaguya here. On this page, we get a couple extra Hunter x Hunter characters. We've got Melioran, Morel, and Ikalgo. A big, massive list of characters, so bear with me for a second. Majin Buu, Matsuda from Death Note, Ace, Gohan, Pooh, Netero, Pito, and Gecko Moria. There's another character here. I'm not quite sure who it is, so if you guys could help me out in the comment section, that would be very helpful. I handed out this image to a couple people around the community, and I even tweeted it, and no one could figure it out, so not sure who that is. Nini Spangle brought up that it might be a Yu-Gi-Oh character just based on the design, and yeah, I agree with that. It looks pretty Yu-Gi-Oh-ish, but again, I'm not sure. I haven't done an exact count here, but I think there's over 50 characters. The characters are as followed: L, Rem, Matsuda, all from Death Note. Naruto characters are Gaara, Kakashi, Guy, Madara, maybe Itachi, although I haven't counted him, Kid Naruto, Kaguya. From One Piece, we have Nami, Robin, Chopper, Usopp, Brooke, the mermaid queen person, Frankie, Whitebeard, Gecko Moria, Ace. From Bleach, we have Matsudo, Ishin, Sajin, Toshiro, Shigekuni, Soifon, Shunsui, Jushiro, Elcora, Ishida, Grimmjow. From Hunter x Hunter, Pito, Leorio, Chrollo, Miriam, and Netero, Melioran, Morel, and Ikalgo. Yu Yu Hakusho, Kurama, Kurabara, Pooh, Hiei, and Kaiko. From Yu-Gi-Oh, Kaiba, and Ishtar. From Dragon Ball, Kid Goku, Goten, Trunks, Teen Gohan, and Majin Buu. That's a lot of characters. I don't think it's reasonable to think that any of these characters will show up because they're on that list, but with that said, if they're important enough to show up on this list, with a handful of exceptions, characters like Matsuda are probably not making it into the game, but if they're important enough to be on this list of characters who showed up in these manga panels, well then they're probably important enough to also deserve a slot. For example, some characters like Hiei, you might look into this and think, oh, well maybe Hiei will show up in the game because he's on this manga panel, but no, Hiei is important enough to show up on this manga panel, so he's also probably important enough to show up in the game either on the base roster or through DLC or whatever. But using this as evidence to suggest that your favorite character is coming to the game is probably not the best method at arriving at any particular conclusion. Even using the CAC system, the avatar system, whatever you want to call it, I think that's probably a better method to suggest that your character is going to be in the game, but still not the best method. It's just better than this one, I think. This video took quite a bit of time, not as much as the yesterday's video, because that one was very, very difficult. But regardless, I would very much appreciate a like on the video if you could take the time to do so. That'd be very much appreciated. Subscribe to keep up to date with future content. My name has been Bilbsy, and I will absolutely see you in tomorrow's video.